What's up, YouTube? Hanoobkan here, back with another Starfield shipbuilding video. And today I wanted to build something different. Um, I always wanted to build a ship that was otherworldly, or at least looks otherworldly, um, more alien than human. And also I wanted it to look very aggressive, and this is what I came up with. It's very pointy, it's very angry, and it's certainly very powerful. It's fast, it's nimble enough to weave in and out of combat, and yeah, let's have a look. So here's a 360 view of the ship, uh, so you can judge for yourself right now whether this build is for you or not. This was originally inspired by a Droideka, but with the limitations in place, this was all I could do. We are here at the Hopetown shipbuilder because we need a couple of parts. First is the landing gear, the Hope 55 landing gear. You get 4 thrust and 3 hull. I prefer these. You can obviously go with something else, but I do like the fact I only need 2 of these, and they look pretty good, I think. And then the other part that we need here from Hopetown is this, the HopeTech Hab cross brace. So you can go from the middle of the ship to the side without having an entire, companionway, a Hab companionway here. Um, yeah, I think this looks better. Everything else can be purchased at your shipbuilder. I think the piloting skill you will need is rank 3 and a starship design rank 4 because of this reactor, which is class B. So let's pull this thing apart and see what's what. Now that we have the ship pulled apart, I can show you what's what. And you can see all the stats here at the bottom. We have a lot of shield. We have, I think with max payload and maybe Sam on your crew. I think he has 1 rack of payload as well. So you will have roughly 2,800 cargo, but I'm not entirely sure, and we can check that later. I think the biggest issue that I think people will find is the mobility here. We are at 69, and that can certainly be remedied by removing the cargo. Like the cargo hold that we have here is the biggest cargo that we can get, but if you remove that, you instantly jump to 100. So you can probably replace that with something else and then equip smaller cargo bays somewhere that will allow you to keep higher mobility. But other than that, the ship is pretty simple. It looks complicated because there's so many parts to it, but mostly they're just there for aesthetic reasons. And so here at the bottom, the first layer is our 120 LD landing bay from Dymos, and right at the back there is our White Dwarf engine. And the next layer will be where we enter the ship, which is here. I do like the Hope Tech Habs because they're kind of rounded, and when you color them, they I don't know, the accents look very nice to me. And so this whole thing here goes up here. This is the ladder that goes up to the middle of the engineering bay, and that whole thing slides there. We have 400 fuel here with the HS30 Atlas. And then the shield, the 1500 shield is from the 28T Defender shield generator. It's a class B. I do love this. I think this is the best shield in the game. And here in the middle, we have a missile launcher. You will need a an equipment plate right there to mount the missile launcher here. But yeah, so this is where we hide one of the missile launchers. Up front, we have Nova Cowling and my gun here, the Vanguard Obliterator at the very bottom. And then another engine at the back because I don't know. I just like the engines in this placement. So the next layer will go here, the Hope Tech companionway. So when you enter the ship, you go into the middle of the engineering bay, and then we will have a ladder that goes from the very back of the engineering bay up to the very top where the cockpit is and the control station. So this goes here. Um, these, they cost one mask each. I do like them just so I can remove the blockiness of the build. Here, as I said, is the cargo hold. You can definitely replace that with something else if you want more mobility. And then another engine here at the back. So the next layer is the cockpit and the control station. The ladder that goes up goes right here, just behind the cockpit, and that whole thing slides over there. And there's our four engines. Looks like a staircase going down, and yeah, and it hides our rocket launcher underneath the cockpit. I picked this cockpit because of the great view up front, and there's another one with a great view that I really like. It's the Tayo, but it's too rounded for for the build that I was going for. I actually do prefer the Tayo in certain other builds, but for this one, the pointy cockpit is the way to go, I believe. And again, we have Deimos wings to cover the sides, and yeah, and there's a Deimos hull there, and a White Dwarf engine, and that completes the passenger section of the ship. The next layer is this, where we have our Class B reactor, and we covered again all the sides with Deimos wings because it's just too blocky. I hate the blocky look. I want everything to look very sharp. And so this whole layer slides here, and this Nova cowling covers the top of the engine. So here you can see it's coming together. And then the horn up top, this is where our grav drive is. And again, to keep that, angular look, we have two Nova cowling at the back. I tried doing it with the Deimos hulls, but I don't know, it just doesn't look as good. And attached to the grav drive is a horizon mount, um, where we put our two remaining rocket launchers and two guns right there. Okay, so this thing slides there, and then the rest will attach to the reactor down below. So there is pretty much the shape of the ship, kind of like a C shape. And then here we have our docker on the side. This is a Stroud Eklund docker. I think you can get this at your own shipbuilder, but otherwise you can probably go to a Stroud Eklund Star Yard to pick this up. But I do believe it is available at your own shipbuilder. And this hab brace goes to the back of the control station, and which leads into the docker there. And here we have, I put another companionway here. Hope Tech, again, because of the rounded shape. I like how it blends in there. But this is just there so we can fill the gap. It doesn't serve any other purpose other than, something to attach parts to. So yeah, and then again, these small Dymus wings. We have an engine strut there. Oh yeah, right here as well, the Nova engine struts. I don't know. I think they look pretty cool. And Nova cowling and Vanguard guns here, the Obliterator, and that whole thing slides to this place. There it is. So there's our wing. And the other side is pretty much the same, except we don't have a docker here. We have the captain's quarters, so we have a bed. Again, we have a cross brace, so we can walk from the control station to the captain's quarters. Everything else is identical, and yeah, that's where everything goes. And there's the finished ship. Yeah, so for the weapons, we picked the Vanguard Obliterator auto projector. We have 6 of those because they only take 2 power. I love them very much, but you have to be a member of the Vanguard for that. When you're firing these weapons, like they're placed right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and it just looks really good when you're firing them in combat. And then we have the PBO 175, the auto Hellion beams, 4 of them. So they are here, kind of hidden here under the wing, and then here up top. And then we have the 3 rocket launchers because they take 4 power, so you can only have 3 of those. And yeah, so here, and here. So it's a very heavily armed ship, and it's very strong. Another thing I wanted to experiment with maybe later down the line is replacing these missile launchers with, I don't know, rail guns or auto turrets. But yeah, this is the build that I went with, but obviously you can use whatever weapons you like. And yeah, that's about it for the build. I am level 144 on very hard, and so the enemies that you will see here on Kryx actually have a lot of HP. So if you're playing on a lower difficulty, the damage is actually pretty great. So it doesn't take as many shots as it takes for me to kill enemies here. But yeah, I also wanted to show that 69 mobility is not a problem in combat, because your top speed will get you out of trouble most of the time. So yeah.